Welcome back to lesson 2, and the title is On Becoming a Perfect Lover. Each individual who enjoys health and energy in their daily life enjoys many spontaneous experiences such as laughing, dancing and singing. Now, love should also form part of these natural spontaneous actions and should be savored to its fullest. The goal of this video course is to impart knowledge to you, the viewer, the couple, which will help you achieve this result. Now, to do this, let's consider a profession or trade in life. It doesn't happen naturally. There's a point where the individual has no real knowledge on the subject, only a basic idea of what they want to do. And through curiosity and making an effort to learn more about this profession or trade, which results in studying and practical exercises, they learn about it. Let me clarify. As a student, this person compares notes with other students, tries out new ways of studying, uses their imagination to use the information absorbed, come up with new ideas, etc. Now, taking this as a generalization, think of a carpenter that has to learn a trade. Initially, he has a basic idea of what carpentry is all about. He's seen books in shops, fancy tools in hardware stores, finished carpentry cabinets. Yet he still doesn't know how to use the tools correctly and effectively or make any of this. He's got to make the effort to learn the trade and receive his diploma. And he does this by attending classes, theoretical and practical, using various tools, working with them, seeing the end result. And he also sees what happens when the tools are used incorrectly. That's the practical side. He can swap ideas with fellow students in the class. He can pick up tips from them with regard to easier ways to attain desired finishes on a final product, what has worked for them, what hasn't. Basically, to become a master craftsman, he has to learn and practice and experience his trade. And this is exactly what love and making love is all about. Now, I know I've simplified this, but after all, falling in love, that's the easiest thing in the world to do. It's developing your love, that's the different story. And there are many things that you have to learn and experience, just as the carpenter learns his trade. You see, as you grow, so will you qualify to become a master lover. Similarly, you can see the sexual act as a piece of music. You have the player and you have the instrument. The more skilled the player is, the greater the tonal sounds that can be extracted from that instrument. Great analogy, huh? And the aim of the player of any love scene should be to produce wild, unexpected, passionate, and extensive results with their partner. Now, don't fall into this culturally stereotyped trap where the woman is seen as the passive receiver and the man as the performer of the instrument. No, that's sad. The woman should also be an excellent soloist in getting her man excited, controlling him, and showing off her skills. You should learn to play one another equally well. You know, I do a few jokes just to keep this funny because I believe that sex and romance is all about fun and laughter as well. And, you know, I don't think I'm that good in bed. My wife has never said anything, but after we make love, she usually takes a piece of chalk and she outlines my body. Have a good chuckle. I need you to laugh a bit as well because this is a fun topic. Romance, sex is fun, okay? Consider for a moment the first time that you made love with your partner. Was it perfect? Did the heavens open? Or was it a bit clumsy? The latter response, I think, would be the norm. It was clumsy, huh? Why? Well, just as there can't be fire without oxygen, there can't be perfect lovemaking without feedback and honesty and knowing each other. You see, there has to be a right mixture of all of this. It's just the same as with fire. If the mixture of oxygen is too thin or thick, the fire won't have much success either. And the starting point of all human relationships, experiences and needs is close bodily contact, just as is our lovemaking. However, this doesn't necessarily mean the act of intercourse. You see, unfortunately, our culture overgeneralizes sex today and everything centers around the act of copulation. Don't worry. Not only am I going to attempt to decentralize this, I'm going to help you experience love and sex as a global, broader concept, not just one short, repetitive experience. Let's look at it another way. When you decide to eat out in a restaurant and order your favorite meal, do you just arrive there, sit down and order the specific meal? Or is it an experience? That's what it is. You look at the menu, you order a starter while drinking some wine with it. Only then do you order your main course, after which you wind down with a dessert and coffee. Can you see the point I'm trying to make here? You make a big thing of the entire meal. You make it last as long as possible. The starter and the soup with the wine should all be seen as foreplay. The main course should be the actual copulation and sex act. The dessert and coffee should be the closeness and intimacy between the two of you. Could even include a further orgasm, the dessert. All your senses form part of an intensely sensitive sexual receptacle. Your eyes, sight, give you the visual stimulation of your nakedness, beauty, and warmth of your partner. Your hearing supplies you with the auditory stimulation and arousal from your partner, their sighs, their moans, their verbal instructions. Your skin surface, the touch, is sensitive to every touch from your partner. When intense love, inner feeling, and desire accompany the love act, every part of your body will be sensitive to touch, and arousal is going to follow. Imagine being kissed or stroked on your back, having your ears nibbled, or having the back of your knees kissed. These are not your genitals, but you will still be sexually aroused. The smell of your partner is one of the strongest aphrodisiacs. And I'm not referring to perfumes and eau de toilettes and deodorants, just a cleanly washed body. Because when you are sexually aroused, you feel warm, you perspire slightly, you release lubrication, etc. All of this radiates a natural sexual smell, unique to you. Similarly, your taste buds are aroused and sensitive to tastes of a sexual nature. Kiss your partner deeply during non-sexual behavior and then kiss them when you're both sexually aroused. The taste is completely different. It is sexual. Experience your partner using all your senses. Today, we're all concerned with survival, and play has unfortunately taken a second place, especially play amongst adults. I mean, as children we are brought up, and I think today more so than ever, without being given the opportunity to experience and enjoy play and the use of imagination outside. If you look at the stresses of kids that have to perform at school, the amount of homework they have to bring home. In my days as a kid, a pot and a pan would keep me busy for hours. We were brought up to use our imagination. Look at the generation of youngsters today that are currently in their 20s. They've had computer games and enjoyed the advantages of technological advancement in age, but at what cost? Do they still use their imagination? Didn't it maybe stifle this imaginative thought process? And hence today we've got adults that just want instant gratification, that quick fix. And this could follow through in their relationships and lovemaking. Therefore today I think if you've been through that, you need to, if you didn't have the play as a kid, you need to see adulthood and adult play as important. You've got to play games and fantasies that you never had the chance to play with your spouse and in bed. Don't be immature and self-conscious about your needs. Remember that if you're both honest and sincere with each other, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. If you love someone, then being unselfish comes naturally. And if there are questionable issues, you should try and reach a compromise with each other. This adult play, wow, it's so much fun. You've got to do this. Now, this can only happen through honest communication. Think of when you want to watch a certain television program and your partner wants to watch another one. You reach a compromise. We'll record one and watch the other one later. And it's important that you include compromises in sex as well. It's all part of that unselfish giving to the person that you love. Remember that sex and love are all about communicating with one another, learning and growing together as a couple. And I'm going to address all these issues and topics in future lessons. Let me share another story with you just to end off this chapter. A man was in his front yard attempting to fly a kite with his son. And every time the kite got up into the air, it would suddenly come crashing down. And this went on for quite a while. And out of the blue, suddenly, his wife stuck her head out of the front door and she screamed at him, "You need more tail." And the father looked at his son and he said, not only do I not understand women, I'll never understand your mother. I told her yesterday I need more tail, and she told me to go fly a kite. Right, now please understand that I wasn't trying to point fingers at women or men here. I need you to laugh at each other a little bit more in this course, and the jokes are there to make you laugh, to make you realize that we are different, we all have our faults. Let's just be honest about them, come to terms with them, and let's make the magic happen. Yeah? See you in the next lesson.